How's it going, everyone? And today, in this episode, we're gonna try and get everything working on this. I do believe our MPU is working. We may have some bad connections on our jumper, but I played around with it after the last episode, and I got it to, we can start a game now. Half of our switches aren't working. One bumper, that one's kind of weird, but we got one bumper that's not working. Our D works, but nothing up top here. Let's see, that one works, and if you noticed, our sound only works when we start a game. We don't have nothing else working. Our vary targets work. So what we need to do is pull our switch solenoid board out, our driver board, and see if we need to clean up some contacts or what's going on with it. We still only have the two displays working though, but the sound, I'm not sure yet. We may have dip switches that need changed. Those probably were set up for whatever game that MPU was in, but it does seem like it's working to a point. Spinner, yep, spinner's working. I don't like that plastic one. Oh, okay. Our spinner is what changes. Okay. Let's see. D. Yep, we already got D. Let's B and A. And that gives us 5 times. Ooh, cool. So when we drain, everything else is and I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me run this up to, come on. Okay, extra ball. And as you can see, extra ball's working. Light special, but the special's not lit. It's giving us points, but don't believe we're getting our special. So let's pull that driver board out and do a little test. First, what we'll do is we'll clean some contacts on it and on our plugs and on the back side of it, and see if we can't get some other stuff working. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little piece of 320 and I'm going to clean all those contacts up on all of our plugs here. And there. And I'll pull that one and do that one too. I'll pull the driver board off of here and check the back side and see how those are. I'm pretty sure they were okay when I put that in, but you never know. And then we'll try it again, and if we're still missing a lot of stuff, then what we'll do is we'll pull that off and start checking switches or transistors, God, and see what we come up with. So let's get these cleaned up and see if we can't get some more stuff working on this. I got them all cleaned up. Now let's see what it does. Get everything, and still there. Let's See, our bottom display there is just not acting right either. Sticks. Still nothing. Still nothing. Okay. Well, that was just one thing we needed to eliminate to make sure that it wasn't just a dirty switch. And see, it counts it down. Give it some points. 3, 4, 5. Game over. And it's showing 3 games, but no match. Okay, now let's see, what should we do? What do you want to do? Should we check the driver board, or do you think the MPU is still our problem? I have this real good one to put in. I think for not much, for what it takes to pull one out and put one in, let's go ahead and try this one. Let's see what this does. If all else, then we'll know if we have the same thing. Maybe we have 2 good MPUs. Okay. Talked me into it. Let's go ahead and change out the MPU, and just for the hell of it, and see what we get. Now on our driver board, let me get that turned around a little bit. I checked out all of our transistors here. They all test out good. All of our little ones, we have 1. These are the lights. I'm still trying to figure out where our switches are. I'm thinking our switches are up top here, lights and solenoids, but there's solenoids and there's some chimes are over here. So I don't know. I'm still looking at it. But we do have. Oh, let me scoot this over just a hair. You can see our light transistors are testing. These are all testing the same, so I can tell that they're all good. One side is 1.32, and the other side is 0.72. Those are the same all the way across except this one right here. Let's see if I can get you zoomed in. I knew it was bad soon as you can see. Oh, where are you at? There you are. You can see the top half of that one right there is all blowed out. I don't know if it blew its top on its own or if it was, you know, from being stored or whatever. So we're going to change that one. That's one of our lights. That was probably the special one of those that when we were messing around didn't show up. And our big one here, this is for solenoids as well. That one, I don't know, it's testing kind of weird to me. In the board it might be fine, but I have one, so we're going to change it anyway. See, our one, this side is the control, at least for, this is an EBC, so this is a control. So we should have at least something on one of the legs, which, okay, is 0.13, which is, unless I'm testing something else in the circuit, then we have 0.63. So like I said, it's testing kind of weird, so I'm going to change it out. I have another one here. We'll change that out, and we'll change that little guy out, and then I'm pretty sure our solenoid, our driver board, is okay, except for when it comes to switches. Now I'm gonna have to change, I gotta change that MPU so we can get a better idea what's going on. I know we're not making contact on that bottom, on this jumper connector. That when I pull that out, I'll show you what I mean when I say I know we're not getting a connection. But first of all, let me get these two changed out, and then we'll start working on the MPU. And this, I'm going to look some more at my schematics, but I'm pretty sure these are our switches up top here. But it could be because we're not making contact up here, and we're not, you know, coming up through all the way. So, just my theory. Might be wrong, but let's go with it. Okay, got those two changed out. And we're ready to put this back in. Hopefully for good and not for just now. Okay. Here's our MPU, CPU. Let me get you up here a little bit further. There we go. And, you know, as you can see, there's been a few things done to this board. But my main concern was those bottom contacts that I had to desolder all those wires off. I lost a pad here, tried making one. This one I tried making that one, and it just wasn't having it, and it just looks pretty ugly. So we're gonna try a different CPU, MPU board, and that one I picked out of those 4 from last episode. In the beginning there, I have 4 good ones that I think we might get a good one out of them. We're going to start with the first one, and we're just going to start testing them and seeing if we can find a good one. If not, then we'll have to start sitting down and might have to change some spiders or something else on this board, which I'm really not looking forward to, but we do know they're all good on here. We think. Or at least I think. But I'm not sure, because I'm not totally sure what each one of these spiders run. But usually when you have a fried driver board, there's usually, this one is bad, and it's either one of these two. I think it might be these two are the ones that are usually changed out. Out of a good board, if you pull, you know, you find a good board and those two are missing, that's usually the two that seem to go bad. So that would be a starting point anyway. Because I'm not totally familiar with everything on this board. You know, what each one of these components run. My knowledge is being able to test some stuff, and if it looks bad, or if I test it out and it's bad, I can change stuff out. Now when it comes to the schematics, I'm getting better and better at reading schematics and following along where, you know, what actually drives what. This one I'm having a hard time figuring out where my switches are. And I'm thinking this top here is our switches. This would be our switches, our lights, and our solenoids, and chimes. Our chimes, you know, our tens, hundreds, and thousands, and I think it's our knocker, or these last 4 here. I'm not sure if this one is for our pop bumpers. But hey, who knows? I'm sure somebody out there knows more about it than I do. So I'm gonna swap our chip out of this board and put it in our other board, put that board in, put our driver board in, and then we're gonna test the machine one again and see what we come up with. Okay, this is the board that we're going to be putting in. As you can see, the connectors are a lot better. Board even looks better. There's no, I think there was just one speck of acid damage right down in here, but I think that's going to be okay. Okay, so let's get our board set put back in and turn it on and see what we come up with. Okay, we got our board set put back in. And now we can close that and let's see what it does now. Okay, I think that's our out hole. Let me let me see if I can get this up. I want to see if it's the out hole is what's kicking. It sure sounded like it because as soon as I turned the machine on it. Hang on a minute, guys. As soon as I turned the machine on, it kicked the ball out. Okay. There. Let's. Yep. It's the out hole. Okay, so now we got to figure out what's wrong with the out hole. And I'm sure that's a siren that's going off stating that there's something wrong. A warning. Hopefully. But okay, let me see what the hell is going on with the out hole. Okay, I went ahead after trying that one board. I tried a couple other ones, and they're no closer than what we are on the original board. So I went ahead and reworked my contacts. I repaired one. It's not the greatest looking, but I just hate soldering wires onto it. But it may come down to something that I have to do. And I was reading that these boards can do funky things with either dead battery or no battery in them. So I went ahead and put a battery pack on it, and we'll try that out and see what we can come up with this one, and see if we can't work it over and get it working right. Alright, got it all put back in. Now, let's see what we got going on. Okay. Closer. Kind of pretty much the same thing where we were. It doesn't look quite as bad. There's displays. That's about all I can get to run. Still dead. Still can't get our switch test or anything else like that either. Let me... I think that's our switch test. Maybe. I'm going to have to find out which test is which, too. Because we may have... let me get this all the way back through. Okay. Turn it off. Four games. And we do have a little bit of sound. Nothing, you know, still. But guess what? Jumped to 5 times. Now. There, now our special's lit. See if our knocker works. Nope. Knocker didn't work. Still no. Okay, still no chimes. Still don't have our chimes working. But we did work out some of the switch problems. It's also counting down the balls. Okay, there's our 2 times is lit, and we still got 1 bumper dead. Okay, every time you get A, B, or C, no. Yeah, still got to work on that flipper. Okay, last ball. See, I think if you get them in order, A, that gives it 2 times. No match, though. Okay, but we are getting closer. Now, let's see if we can figure out what's wrong with that bumper. Aha! I think I got some of it squared away. Okay, we do have, you know, sound there now. We have sound again. I don't think our hundreds are working. No. No hundreds. Okay, so now we got some of our sound going. Our hundredths are missing. No, it's there. Just kind of, it is 100, isn't it? Oh, that's 1,000 when lit. Okay. Yep, that's 1,000. 1,000. 10. That's 10. That's 1,000. 500. Yep, okay, all of our sound is working. All of our switches are working. See? See? Special's lit. And there's our knocker, our knocker. Okay, now we got all that crap working. What's it, extra ball? Yep, extra ball. The only thing is we got a dead bumper. Dead bumper. So I think, and I gotta fix this flipper. Let's see if we can figure out what the hell's going on with that bumper stinking thing. But yeah, we got just about everything going now. That's the old board. Our sound and everything was all in the dip switches. Everything was in the dip switches. I set up the dip switches with a basic, just a basic program where we can do some. I did check in and I got all the dip switch settings for just to set it up as a basic game so you can work through it, and then if we want to change some stuff we can. And see, we have our high score showing too, except for the zero's dead. Interesting. Okay, let's see if we can't figure out what the hell's going on with that bumper. Had a little setback with our dragon. Okay, I was playing, testing things out on it, so we could come back and I could show you, and we could test everything together, and I could show you what was working and what wasn't working. I was playing a game and I was having a good old time. I set the high score. I was up to 290,000 on it, which that's what you win a game on anyway. And that was on playing it on 3-ball. And I was standing back here playing, and next thing I know, I see smoke roaring out from the top of that pop bumper. I mean, that sucker was smoking. So I hurried up, shut it off, lifted up the playing field, and here the coil had stuck. Or something was stuck on it, and that coil was so hot that you couldn't even touch the bracket. Let me get this up. You can look at the ceiling for a second while I prop this up. This housing and everything got so hot you couldn't even touch it. And what was smoking was the paper on our coil. And sorry about that, and the coil sleeve. As you can see, now our pop bumper doesn't even come down. So what I'm thinking happened is, let me get you up. Come on, adjust up, camera. There we go. Nope. You're not going to adjust, are you? Too busy looking at that bright window over there. Let me see if I can get you. There, that's a little better. And if you hit the switch plate, it cocks off to the side of our of the switch and holds the switch closed. And I don't know why that's sticking. So now we have to, it's as if the bumper is not down on here far enough. So now what we're going to have to do is flip this back over. I'm going to have to tear that pop bumper all down again and see what we can figure out what the hell happened. Because we had everything working. I mean, it was playing nice. And I had figured out that pop bumper, the other one, why it wasn't working. Really don't know why it wasn't working. Just I checked a few things, cleaned the switch on it, and the next thing you know, it started working. So I think we just had a dirty switch. That one's working fine. This one hung up on us. And hopefully we didn't cook a coil, but I do know we melted the sleeve. So we're going to have to take that apart and see if we can't get that squared away again. But if it's not one thing, it's another, but that's usually what happens with these. So let's get this flipped over and see if we can't get this tear apart that pop bumper and see what the hell happened. There, you can see when you hit the switch plate underneath that, the switch plate just moves right off of the spoon, for lack of better terms, off of the switch spoon. See, it's as if it's not long enough, or or it's not centered. Which could very well be it's not centered. Hope we didn't puke our coil. But 9 chances out of 10, my luck, I know it's puked. Darkened it up really nice. Alright, let's tear that down. Let's see what the hell happened. I'll tell you, the cabinet still stinks. This happened to me yesterday. Okay, I've got 2 different screws on here for the coil. Let's first see if we can salvage our coil, if it's going to be okay, or if I'm going to need to order a coil. Ew. Melted that sucker down. Ugh. I'll have fun getting that out of there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to break it to get it out of there. That's all right. Okay, now let's see what the hell's going on here. If maybe our switches, that was loose, so was that. That switch is ugly looking. It was, you can tell it was stuck on. And that switch got awful hot. Let's see if it'll survive. I don't know, guys. Sure doesn't want to take the carbon off of it. There. Man. I had to take quite a bit off of those to get that to shine up again. Okay, now let's center this. Up a little bit better. Of course, there's a nut. Watch that for me now. I'm going to lift up the playing field a little bit. Stick my arm in here and let's see what we got. That's better. Switch wasn't centered. Good. That'll take care of that problem. We hope. We'll see what that coil turns out like. Okay, now let me dig that sleeve out of there and we'll see what we got. Okay, before we get too enthused about tearing out that sleeve, let's test it and see. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to kick you around a bit here first. Okay, the good coil, we're at 0.00545454. Okay, and the other one, make sure we're not touching anything. 0.5. Come on. 0.5, 0.4, 0.5, 0.4, 0.5, 0.4. Okay. Nope. I think we can save it. All I got to do is dig that sleeve out of there and hope it didn't melt the inside of the coil. The plastic housing on the inside here. Let's hope we didn't screw it up. And we can get another sleeve in there without the piston binding up in it. So what I'm going to have to do is just take a little screwdriver, and dig that little bugger out of there. And we're just going to see if I can get it split. That way, if I can get it split, I've got a booger on my screwdriver. And don't harpoon yourself. I know all about harpooning yourself. Trust me, it's not fun. Damn thing's still healing up. Okay, I'm going to have to do this on my own because you're kind of in the way over here. And if I have you move over, you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing. Got the sleeve all dug out of it. As you can see, my paper just kind of disintegrated once I got a hold of it. There's our sleeve. Now, as you can see down in here, focus on, there we go. I got some Klingons in there. Yeah, a little rough. so we can't get our sleeve down in there. And you know, the plastic is melted all the way down to the wire, but once we get the sleeve in it, and that'll protect it. And if it works, it's just going to go to show you what these coils can go through and still work. Even after I dug all that out, I tested it again, and we're still at 5.4, 5.4, 5.4. So the coil's still good. But, you know, that's why I said, if a coil's working, it works. If it's bad, it will not work. And they can take quite a bit of heat and abuse, and they still work. I know, there are going to be people out there that are going to tell me that I'm wrong, but I don't care. Either a coil is good or a coil is bad. There is no such thing as a weak coil. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my little file here and clean the Klingons out of the hole, and so I can get it sleeved and we can get it put back together and test it, and I can prove the haters wrong. And I'll put back together all flipped over now. I'll turn it on, wait for it to boot. There we go. We got 5 games now. You do know that I'm going to be lifting this playing field about every 5 or 10 minutes just to check to see how hot that coil is, because it scared the hell out of me, and I don't want to burn up another driver board. That's the only good one we have. Okay, now let's see what happens. All right, got that squared away. Geez, what do you get for a bumper? God, $6,000 or $1,000 for every time you hit the bumper. We still got to work on our... Ooh, there's our extra ball. Oh, perfect shot. Now our special's lit. Hell. All right, let's, since we're here, let's test out a few other things. Let's see, you get A, B, C, and D, you get 5 times. If you get the A, it's 2, B is 3, C is 4, and A, B, C, and D, you get 5. Now, if you get B before A, you're still stuck on whatever. But if you get the A after the B, then you'll go right to 3 times. Kind of weird. But everything... The only thing I'm not sure of, maybe somebody can tell me, is, does the Dragon have an attract mode? Push that all the way up. Yep, and it lights our spinner. Trust me, I still don't like that spinner. But if somebody can tell me if Dragon has an attract mode when it's just sitting idle, let me know, because I'd sure be interested to find out if it does. Pretty cool. So far, so good. And let's go over here And I don't smell anything. Yes, I stuck my nose right down there. Here. Nothing. And now I don't want to say, ha, I told you so, but you know something? Told you so. That bumper would work. Just because that coil got hot, melted a sleeve in it, and I had to dig the old sleeve out. That coil tested good, and guess what? It is still good. So I don't care what anybody says or anybody tells you. If it tests good, I don't care if the paper's burnt off of it. I don't care if it caught fire. If it tests good and you can get a sleeve in it, they work. Either a coil works or doesn't work. Plain and simple. And you can see that sucker's still strong. Okay, folks, I think this video has been long enough. We've got everything working. The only thing we have left on this machine is we have 2 dead displays. Our 3 works, 2's doo-doo, and we're missing 1. We'll take a look at number 2 in the next episode and see if we can repair it. If not, I'll order 2 DIYs for it in the blue, and we'll replace those 2. We can move the good number 3 up to number 2 if we want, but what's the fun in that? If we're going to buy 2 new ones, 2 DIYs that work, what we're going to do is we'll put them in 1 and 2, and we'll put the used ones down in 3 and 4. Since 1 and 2 get used the most, 3 and 4 is kind of, we'll put them down below. And we'll have 2 real good displays up top. I'm not real sure where I left off on this video, on this episode, because I got busy and I wasn't able to do anything on our Dragon for a couple of days while I was getting crap ready to take to the outdoor market this weekend. I'll post this on Friday. But we have I put the original MPU that came with this back in. I cleaned it up again. I soldered a new pad on for our contacts and put it in and fired up, and now it's working properly as far as I can tell. I'm not sure if this error 78 system 1 had an attract mode or not. Tell me in the comments if it does, because I need to figure out if I need to look at something else to get the attract mode going. Unless it's in the dippo switches. A lot of my problems with the NPU was with the dip switches. And in the next episode, when we do a few other things, I will we'll go over setting the dip-de-doo switches. Our test button, now we're kind of acting like we should. Except for that. I don't know what the hell that half of whatever it is. Bottom half of a 5. 33 on 2. 21. Oh, okay. Switches? Is that our switch test? Nope. Nope. Okay. 4. Nope. 5. Wonder if this is what the dip switch tests were. Nope. There's got to be a switch test in the tests, in test mode. I don't know if those are used. And see, like that, I don't. That's 9. Back to 0. That's our high score, where we can set that wherever we want. Test 1 is our displays. Test 2. No. 3. Come on. Ah. Go through again. No, that was our switch test anyway. Tested them and they're working. Oh, man. And then she went back to our gameplay. Okay. And I think we cleared. No. Okay. Anyway. That's where we're at. And then we can move forward. Like I said, if anybody knows if Dragon is supposed to have an attract mode where lights work while it's sitting idle, let me know in the comments so I can figure that out. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it and having some fun. Finally, we're getting close and I'm having some fun doing this. In fact, that was kind of fun that something like that happened and we can go through and fix it. You know, once we dug out the old sleeve and cleaned out the Klingons out of it, and the sleeve went right in again, nice and easy, and you can see that bumper's working. There's nothing wrong with that coil. And you can see now 5 and 50 match is working. I still don't understand why our last digit's not working, but that's something that we'll look into. And excuse me if I wasn't kind of in sync through this video. Like I said, I had a whole ton of crap going on this weekend, so it took me a while to get back to our Dragon to get this far on it. So kind of bear with me if everything kind of seems out of sequence or if there's something missing. So until next time, see ya.